Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to the tutorial series on how to build a visual API. In the last video, we looked at the visual API more conceptually, what it is, what it does, and why it's important. The visual API is built from two components. The first is the Brobot engine, and the second is a state structure. We go into detail about the state structure in videos 5 and 6, where we describe the two major components of the state structure, the state classes and the state transitions classes. It's important to know that Brobot builds the state structure for you. Using the state structure builder, you can have Brobot write the Java code that you need for your state structure. But Brobot needs to be fed. Brobot gets hungry just like the rest of us. And you need to feed it some images, the images that you'll use to recognize your states and to manipulate your environment, and also a series of screenshots that represent your environment. The process works like this. You set up Brobot to start taking screenshots and while you use the program. And when you're finished, you have a set of many different screenshots that have lots of different images and the states that you want to identify. And you'll select images from those screenshots. Using the images you selected, it will run through all of the different screenshots, and it will give you an analysis of the images that you've chosen, and it will find regions for you and give you analysis of some of the regions. And basically you can go through that and you can see, are these images appropriate for the application that I'm building? And if they're not, the best thing to do is to either change the image or change your strategy, because you want to avoid the trial and error. I'm using the same computer to capture images, to capture screenshots, as I'm using to develop the state structure and the visual API. This doesn't have to be the case. And especially if you're working with a client, you want to make sure that you capture screenshots from the client's environment, from the environment that they are going to use the automation application on, or the environment where they're going to employ the visual API. And just to give you an example from personal experience of why this is important, before I had developed this way of creating the state structure, a buddy of mine, Masoud, who lives in the Netherlands, he asked me to develop an automation program for him. He was in the business, it was a side project, but he was in the business of buying damaged cars, fixing them up, and selling them again. And sometimes he was using a specific website that posted advertisements of these cars, and sometimes the advertisements were for below market prices, and they would be purchased within minutes. And he wanted to get these advertisements. He didn't have time to constantly check the website because he had a job. And he said, develop this application for me, have it send me messages in WhatsApp when there's a new car, and then I can check it out. And I did it. I first put my web browser into Dutch because he's using it in Dutch. And I developed everything the way I thought it would be on his computer. Worked for me, I sent it to him, and of course it didn't work. And it didn't work because his browser was in the light mode and my browser was in the dark mode, which shows you that it's very difficult to know all of the nuances that exist on your client's environment. It's best to have your client take screenshots of their environment while they're using the application that they want to automate, and and for you to get those screenshots and then develop the state structure using those screenshots. The video that I'm doing today is going to show you how to deal with a more complex environment. Here we are. This character here, she looks kind of like my girlfriend, yeah. Except for the purple hair, and also except for the heels. My girlfriend really wouldn't go to a fight with heels. So this is a very simple one-page application called State Structure Application, and all it has is the basic setup. And then I have this capture screenshots as a class in Brobot. I just brought it in here as a bean. And what we want to do is we want to capture screenshots every second. Let's capture frequency right here. And this is a limit. So I like to have this just in case you forget to turn it off. Yeah, so it's not going to fill up your hard drive with screenshots. But we're not going to use it for the whole time. We're just going to stop the application in the IDE when we're finished. Well, if I go ahead and I start it now, what it's going to do is it's going to start taking screenshots. You can see the names here. It's taking these, and it puts it into a folder that I created called screenshots right here in the base directory. If you go, and then you go over to the game, and what it's doing now is it's taking screenshots of the game. So I can start playing the game. So you see right here, these are screenshots that are being taken. Yeah. And I am going to let this run for a while. I'm going to do some stuff in the game for like 5 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and I will show you how to build the state structure and how to do image analysis. Once you have your screenshots, you want to select a subset of them to use with the state structure builder. The builder will do a find all operation for each image in each screenshot. And if you have a lot of images and a lot of screenshots, it could take a lot of time. Okay, so now we know how to capture the environment that we want to work with. And in the next video, we'll look at how to cut out images. These images are going to be what we use to recognize our states and to manipulate the environment. So see you in the next video.